And that's why we should not tolerate conditions in prison that have no place in any civilized country. We should not be tolerating overcrowding in prison. We should not be tolerating gang activity in prison. We should not be tolerating rape in prison, and we shouldn't be making jokes about it in our popular culture. That's no joke. These things are unacceptable.
I just want to take this opportunity to affirm the Department of Corrections' commitment to the elimination of rape and sexual assault. And that commitment really starts at the top, but it really needs to be delivered at every level of our organization. As you know, Pennsylvania Department of Corrections is the leader in correctional services across the country. And so it's essential that we lead in every aspect of our operation. We have over 50,000 inmates who are entrusted in our care. And it's essential that we return individuals, at least not worse, but hopefully better than they came in. An essential piece of that is providing the type of environment inside our facilities where people really can have the opportunity to get better. They must feel safe. And we have the opportunity to provide that by being respectful and making sure that it's a safe environment for all individuals. So thank you for your commitment to this. And more importantly, thank you for your effort in ensuring that we have a safe environment inside all our prisons.
Hello, I am Shirley Morse-Mill, and I am the Executive Deputy Secretary for the Pennsylvania Department of Corrections. I want to talk with you today about a subject that is very serious to the department, that has consequences for our behavior, your behavior, that jeopardizes the security of the facilities in which we work, that tarnishes the reputation of the department and of you, and most importantly, it violates federal law. The Prison Rape Elimination Act, also known as PREA, became federal law in September of 2003. And basically what that law says is that inmates within our care, custody, and control have the right to be free from sexual harassment, sexual abuse, and inappropriate relationships. It also means that we, as a department, must establish policies and procedures and demonstrate through our practices that we have a zero tolerance for sexual harassment, sexual abuse within our facilities. It also provides increased accountability for the departments. We have to report the data, we have to report the number of issues that occur within our facilities, we have to report what the discipline was for those staff. So we are held accountable for the behavior that's conducted by our employees, as well as our visitors, our contractors, our volunteers, anyone who enters our Department of Corrections facilities, our contracted facilities, our community correction centers, have to be accountable for compliance with PREA standards. As a staff member, if you encounter a PREA violation, you have a responsibility and an obligation to immediately report. Report it to the shift commander, report it to the PREA compliance manager at your facility, but make sure that you report it, that you document it, and that you be prepared to provide testimony if necessary. Reports of sexual abuse can be made in a number of different ways. It can be made through written report, through verbal report, and also through documentation to an anonymous Pennsylvania State Police address, which is provided for you at your facilities. Sexual abuse can have long-term effects and serious consequences for victims, as well as the staff who get involved. We have to be mindful, and we have to remember that no relationship with an inmate, an offender, a parolee, is consensual. And it's not consensual because we have care, custody, and control, and we have authority over those individuals who are in our facilities. So there's no such thing as consensual activity, consensual sex. It doesn't exist. Know that. I cannot stress to you strongly enough that the Pennsylvania Department of Corrections, under the leadership of Secretary John Wetzel, have a zero tolerance for inappropriate relationships within our facilities. We have to know that if we violate the policies, procedures, and practices that we have in place, that again, it jeopardizes. And I would suggest that it's one of the most serious security violations that we can have within our institutions is that of an inappropriate relationship. Because when that happens, somebody is not doing what they are supposed to be doing. Somebody is less observant than they otherwise would be. Pay attention to what you are going to learn. Pay attention to the Prea standards. Recognize what your role is in protecting and providing for the safety and security of the inmates, the offenders, the parolees, and of staff. At the end of the day, the procedures and policies are set in place for the benefit of our employees, volunteers, contract staff, and those over which we have care, custody, and control. The Department of Corrections certainly recognizes that the vast majority of the over 16,000 employees that we have will not engage in sexual misconduct or sexual activity, nor will they support other staff members who do. You need to know that over the next 2 years, that we will have audits conducted at each facility to make sure that we are compliant with the federal Prea standards. If you have any questions about this policy for the department or the federal policy, please make sure to contact your supervisor or the Prea compliance manager at your facility. Typically, the corrections classification and program managers, the CCPMs, have been designated as the Prea compliance manager, and they are very knowledgeable about the resources available, the interpretation of the standards, and what you need to do to be Prea compliant. Together, by maintaining a high level of professionalism to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, the Department of Corrections, and our individual facilities, we can create a safe and secure environment, and we can fulfill the mission of the Pennsylvania Department of Corrections. Thank you.